All right, what's good? What's good? What's going on? What's this is the Sunday morning drive. I'm your host, Livewire Sports, and I can't pronounce your name. Is how you pronounce
Hey,
it?
hey, look! Don't mind the name. It's just the game of my mind and knowledge of sports. It's the Chicken Nugget King 586.
All right, Chicken Nugget King in the house. How you feeling this morning?
Hey, I'm feeling good, feeling great.
All right, I think Ryan's gonna join us in a little bit. I know he has some errands to run, but as you know, Chase usually is the host of the show, so he asked me to take over for this morning. Um, Usually on a Sunday morning drive, we just dive into the NFL Sunday, some of the top games. We make our picks and everything like that. Now, I do want to ask you, Mr. Jones, what's up?
What's up, big time? What's up? Raw thoughts real quick. Let me get these. I gotta get some more. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna y'all finish up that conversation. I gotta take a quick commercial break. Hold on a second.
All right, no problem. So, Mr. Chicken King, who's your NFL team?
I am a Detroit Lions fan.
Oh my gosh. I feel that pain already from last week. Gosh.
Look, we
I'm, I'm a Commanders fan, so I have that pain still dawn on me for last week.
yeah, I mean, looking at the way we played against you guys, I think we played rough, tough, and very, aggressive in that game. Although we do have, some injuries and, questionable guys that should be playing today against Minnesota Vikings, I do think that we need to carry that momentum into this game and, keep building on what we're building on and keep taking, this, grit to a whole new level. You know what I'm saying? It's just a term to us fans, but to these players, they believe in it and they're going to stick to it. And it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a dogfight against the Vikings, just like it was against the Washington Commanders. Big
Yeah,
shout out to DC. So, it's just a battle. It's going to be a battle of grit and toughness.
I agree. I think that, for what y'all have shown from the first 2 weeks against Philly and against us, I well, I won't we'll make all of them picks around, but I see that y'all have something building there, especially um with the way Jared Goff is playing, and he's playing totally different than he played the first year with y'all. Um, and then y'all the running game and everything like that, and the receiver core. So the defense really stepped up a lot, because Detroit was known for defense for so many years, and then with Sue and all of them boys there, and then Matt Stafford was there, and they didn't really had too many receivers, just one big name receiver. So now it's kind of like y'all building the whole package. Um, I do I do have y'all making the playoffs though.
That is a big mountain to climb. Playoffs is a real big mountain to climb for any young team. For us, we're building something that's a nucleus. We're building something that's going to be special and unique for a long time. And when you talk about our team, you talk about Amon St. Brown, you talk about Aiden Hutchinson, you talk about Jared Goff, you talk about, guys like Malcolm Rodriguez, you talk about Derek Barnes, you talk about the names of this team that are capable of helping this team go to the next level. Is it going to be a hard, fought journey to get there? Yes. But you got to do it with guys that are all about building chemistry together and, having the right mindset in the locker room and guys that are willing to just go out there and give it their all. It's a 60-minute game. I mean, it's more about fight to the finish than to, start and, crumble, so we got to really, handle things the right way. Playoffs is a big step, but the job's not finished.
I agree. I agree. It is a long season for everybody. Even for my Commanders, I'm looking for us to bounce back against y'all guys. We play a tough game against Philly today. I said this last night. I was on another live show, um, and one of the guys that's in Sports Empire, Mr. Cool. He's an Eagles fan, so we've been chopping it up throughout the week and everything. And um, the main the main concern of that game for me is the defense of Washington. That's my main concern. I'm not concerned about the offense because I think we have enough weapons to spread out Philly's defensive backs and safeties where we could get yardage.
Mhm.
Just so I feel like the way Philly played Minnesota, because Minnesota's so one dimensional in the passing game. If it ain't Justin Jefferson, then who else is going to catch balls? You know what I'm saying? Now
Mhm.
Thielen, he's still productive, but he's not the Thielen from old. You know what I'm saying? He has
Mhm.
done got banged up. He's a little older now, but I still feel that Washington has the advantage because we have so many weapons. Now, if our defense was playing good defense, then I would say, hey, we'll put up, we'll beat them soundly. But I don't see that this game going that way. I see it very, very close, where Washington wins either by 3 or 5 points in that span. Um, Now, we, you know, usually we try to cover mostly NFL, but I do want to, you know, your opinion about, are you a college football fan also?
Yes. Yes. Me being born in the mitten, Michigan Wolverines is a big thing around here, just like, the Michigan State Spartans are. Uh, Nationally, I'm a huge fan of the Miami Hurricanes. Huge fan of them. But when it comes to locally, I'm a Michigan Wolverine guy, so that's a through and through thing. And not only that, I just really, really appreciate the history that we have in Michigan sports, not just only the Detroit Lions, but when you look at teams like the Detroit Red Wings and the Pistons and the Tigers, which I'm not a Tigers fan, I'm a Pirates fan.
Yeah.
But I respect the history and I respect the knowledge of what we do around here. And knowing Michigan, it's a blue collar state,
Mm-hmm.
just like it is out in Washington. It's a blue collar state. Every single state out there that has great sports history have blue collar in it. It's just not known to the world, and it's not known in a decisive way, in a very diverse way. Um, Seeing that the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles have a big matchup coming up today, I just think arguably the Eagles, they have a great X factor in AJ Brown, who says
Mm-hmm.
he's always open. And then you got a team like the Washington Commanders, as you said, they got a lot of weapons. Great selective weapons for Carson Wentz to throw the ball to.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
just need their defense to step up and have a better up tempo game than the Eagles do. Because the Eagles,
Yeah.
they're gonna come at you. They're gonna come at you in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Fundamentally sound. They're gonna come at you with, two-dimensional defense, three-dimensional defense, or maybe they'll level it up and switch up certain plays, blitzes, disguises. Um, their offense, though, they're definitely going to depend on AJ Brown because Jalen Hurts is the guy that's going to want to run out the backfield 9 times out of 10.
Agree.
Um, but yeah, this game's going to be tough for you guys. It's going to be a tough one, like it always is out in the NFC East,
Yeah.
and may the best team win out of that.
Oh yeah, I do agree with that totally. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are going to be matchup problems for us defensively. We do get Cam Curl back, so that's a blessing. I'd rather have him and Derek Forrest out there as safety and kind of like move Bobby McCain into the Buffalo Nichols situation. Um, Him and St. Jude could split that area pretty much right there. It's just the cornerbacks, man, with Fuller and William Jack, man. They just, if you play zone, if Jack the Real plays zone, we definitely gonna give up some
Some
big,
point.
yeah, some points or chunk yardage, because the thing about it is that I just don't like the defensive scheme totally of us. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint why we so out of place on defense when we have the talent to be a decent defensively sound team. It just baffles me. And and touched on what you said that I used to live in Detroit back in the early mid 2000s, around 2014, 15. I always followed Michigan football,
Mhm.
even before I lived there and everything, because from John Ritchie to Tom Brady, even playing it on college football, um, on the Xbox, I always pick Michigan, even though my team is the Miami Hurricanes. I'm a diehard Miami Hurricanes. Um, so it's kind of funny that you said that. It's like, yeah, so it's kind of like some similar relation right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's just full circle. It's coming full circle.
Yeah, exactly. So let's I want to touch on your matchup with Minnesota. What do you see Detroit to get the win? What do you see they need to do?
Easy, taking out the secondary. Taking out the secondary by passing the ball. Their secondary's out. Harrison Smith is out. Concussion protocol. And they're going to take advantage of that. We're going to take advantage of that. We're going to go out there and do what we got to do passing wise to get more points on the board. And whether if we run or pass, I think we're just going to take advantage of this defense.
Yeah,
Minnesota's offense, as you said, is one dimensional. It's not really a true offense. It's just way too one dimensional, and you already know what's going to happen on each play. So you gotta have the courage to put up 40 points tonight. You know what I'm saying? 40 points today, whatever. 40 points today is a good thing that we have to do. We put up 40 points, we make a statement. We
and
don't put up 40 points, it's not going to be a statement because we're going to have like five minus points, and getting a zero. We don't want a zero. We want
yeah,
more. We want
yeah,
more. We want to bargain for more, and we want to, keep up with more because if you look at Minnesota's hurting from that Monday night game. You know what I'm saying? That's not even much time for them to practice. They played a Monday night game.
yeah,
This team, the Detroit Lions have practiced over like a week to
yeah.
get ready and prepare for this game. And it's going to be tough for Minnesota to, get back into the funk and try to, get back in the swing and try to play better and play up to par. But this is definitely going to be our game.
I I see y'all really defensively going after Kirk Cousins a lot, make him uneasy because even I know for what Kirk played for us and what he's been doing in Minnesota, if you get to him, well, that's any quarterback, but Kirk does not he turns the ball over a lot. Either if you strip sack him or hit him where he fumbles or he throws an interceptions. If the pressure becomes too much for him and he can't get the ball to Justin Jefferson and you make him go. Philly did a prime example. They took away Justin Jefferson from him a couple of times and it resulted in interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think Minnesota should establish the run game in some form or fashion. They got two excellent backs back there, and everybody knows that if you establish the run, you can open up the pass a little bit. So Minnesota has to establish the run against y'all. Now, will they be able to do it? That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother thing. You know
A
what I'm saying?
whole yeah, a whole other ball game. But you know, the run, if you run the ball, it's going to tire out the defense.
Yeah,
You pass the ball, it's going to make the secondary, question on how to tackle. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? It's going to make them feel that way. And with the sacks, hurries, pressures, knockdowns, that's stuff that we got to, analyze and do in today's game against Kirk Cousins and this Vikings team. Kirk Cousins isn't a guy who likes to get out the pocket. He likes to stay in the pocket so that way he can be protected. And his game is really productive off that.
yeah,
And if his game isn't productive off that, and he doesn't get out of the pocket, it's going to hurt him even more. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be reliable on getting out the pocket, just like Jared Goff needs to be reliable at getting out the pocket, because you're not going to stay in the pocket for long. You stay in the pocket, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to get pressured. So obviously for us, we're going to protect Goff easily, hands down. Offensive line wise, we will. I don't know about the Vikings, but Kirk Cousins is going to have trouble trying to get out the pocket. He's going to have a hard time because it's going to be guys in that front seven that's going to get to him.
Exactly. I agree with that, because for most of not, when I watch games and I see quarterbacks just really sit in the pocket and there's an open lane and they wait till the pocket get too pushed back on them to try to escape, and it results into a sack. And I know they're going through their reads and their progressions, saying down the field when they're passing the ball. But usually if you see a crease there, make the defense honest by picking up at least 3 to 4 yards. If you do that, the defense don't have to worry a little bit more about you coming out the pocket, more so than just sitting back in the pocket. And to Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins, they are not runners, but they should use some of that instinct to move out the pocket. Hell, if Tom Brady could run out the pocket for about 10 or 12 yards and he's not a runner at all, I mean, you should be able to escape the pocket, at some point in time in the game, so you don't have to have all of them negative yards. Because once you have negative yards and you like 3rd and 15, they're gonna bring the house on you. You know what I'm saying? And then you really gonna be forced to throw, and you might even make a mistake of throwing an interception or getting another sack. So those are some key things that I think quarterbacks should look at now. When you got gifted runners, that's just automatic. They're gonna run it regardless. It's not gonna be a second thought in their head.
Oh no, it's not gonna be a second thought in their head. Now, if you would have thought of, scrambling QBs, then that's a big time worry. Like Lamar Jackson, you gotta worry because this dude got legs and passing, just to get out there.
Exactly.
And his game is so similar to Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? Because he can do both with you.
Yeah.
And when you got scrambling quarterbacks, that's trouble. That's trouble, and that makes the whole game a lot difficult for defenses. Because now they're either gonna switch up and go for a 3-4 or a base 4-3, just to play you. You know what I'm saying? Or blitz, in that matter of fact, to stop a scrambling run. So, we got 2 quarterbacks who are more likely sitting in the pocket.
Yeah.
Goff and Cousins are more likely sitting in the pocket than they are getting out the pocket.
Yeah. I just think that, to me, it's not a knock on Kirk Cousins, because I think, he's going to be the quarterback who he developed to become, but I think I feel like Jared Goff got a raw deal out of LA. And I think if Sean McVay had got him the weapons that he went out and got for Matthew Stafford, I think Jared Goff probably would have been able to, revive his passing game. The guy took the team to the Super Bowl, which they lost, but you didn't do anything beyond that to help him out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had Cooper Kupp there, and beyond that, all of the other receivers either was injured or not really reliable. But then when you got you wouldn't have spent all that money to make a trade for Matthew Stafford. Then you was able to put all these other pieces around you. And I just think that Jared Goff wasn't that bad. He's not that bad of a quarterback. I mean, he's still young a little bit, and he could get the job done. And now wherever he takes Minnesota,
wherever he takes us.
wherever he takes Detroit. I got Ryan backstage, and I don't know how to get him in.
But for sure, that stuff is gonna mean everything. It's gonna be key. It's gonna be key to have guys that's primed up and ready to go. Do I think Goff got screwed over? Yeah, I think he got screwed over
Yeah,
because he did take the Rams to the Super Bowl, and he did that without having, an arm like Stafford does. He did that without that, and that is phenomenal. Without no question, that's phenomenal. But when you look at a guy like Jared Goff, he can play with the top best quarterbacks. He can. It's just that his name hasn't been respected. So
exactly. And
I
that's
think.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I think so. I think he's definitely up there with Stafford, no question. It's
Yeah,
just that Stafford didn't have the team that he had, like what he had with the Lions. He
exactly.
didn't have that.
And it's just funny because now you look at where Jared Goff is with Detroit and what Detroit's trying to do, and you look where Matthew Stafford went with. He went to the Super Bowl, he won it. Now he having this elbow issue that's really going to most likely linger all season long, and it's probably going to affect the way he throw the ball. And they not, I mean, literally they could have been 0-2 right now because they could have lost that game to Atlanta, and then they already lost to Buffalo. So the hill for the Rams is not really going to be easy for them. Uh,
Going forward.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan's trying. Ryan's trying to get in. I need Chase to let him in because I think Chase got control over the live. Um, because that's how. Because I don't have the. I don't have the thing to let. I don't have it to let him in.
Yeah, yeah, but most likely I think honestly the thing that really would be, a factor is, Matthew Stafford's age. He's getting up
Yeah,
there in age. He's not the younger Matthew Stafford. He's,
yeah,
you know, mature, more older than what he once was. And I'm not gonna sit here and say Matthew Stafford isn't a good quarterback. He is. Just didn't have the decent team to actually give him what he wanted, you
mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, he's a Ram, and I know he's happy in LA. He's happy with the team. I feel like with his age right now and the way he's having injuries, it's just catching up to him.
Yeah. I do believe that too, because of what he has done so much in Detroit, throwing the ball like like constantly throwing the ball. And now that he's over there with Sean McVay, I give Matthew Stafford probably let me see, this is second year with the team. I give him 2 more years. I give him 2 more years before you see them going in another direction at quarterback because they went all out. They spend the most money getting as many high profile players they wanted and everything like that. And now, if you really look at it, you see how teams are able to put points on the defense. They're able to do certain things they couldn't do last year because you have Von Miller there took the pressure off of Aaron Donald, and now Aaron Donald has to fight through everything. Now he probably he'll get a sack here and there in some games, but teams are so geared up now to really shut him down. The Rams gonna have to have other guys to step up, and who them guys are, I mean, it's remain to be seen. Um, I do want to touch on some big games today, just to look at what we coming up with before we start making any picks. Um, we got Buffalo and Miami Dolphins. Now Buffalo do have a safety that's out for the season from that game, but I, me personally, I could see this game becoming a shootout.
Mhm.
Um, and I won't be surprised if Miami was to win this game because of the weapons that Tua has around him now, and he able to put pressure. And Tyreek Hill played against Buffalo when he was in Kansas City, so he might know some things that could help out Tua. But how much? But Buffalo defensive front could be an issue too on the other side because Von Miller is over there. So tell me what you think about this game and how you see it playing out for both teams.
I see it the same way anyone else would see it. And while I'm saying that, I'm saying it to say this. This was Brian Flores' team, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
built. Mike McDaniel took a Brian Flores team and made him into a 2-0 team that fast within a short span. Now imagine with all this talent on the Miami Dolphins, them getting further than just 2-0, them getting to a point where they're in the wild card, where
Mm-hmm.
they're fighting for a spot to get to the Super Bowl. Because let me tell you, it's been a long time since the Dolphins been there. Been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Mike McDaniel and the way he's playing his cards with Tua, it's going to be a magical ride for them.
Yeah.
Now, the Bills, they have a lot to work for. They have a lot to do. The one thing that was holding them back was a run game. They were decent all around decent. Run game was the main factor for them. They just couldn't have a run game like they do now.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a game down by the middle. This is going to be a very competitive game. And with it being down the middle, it's going to come down to a field goal.
I could see that happening to a lesser extent. I think the Bills offense is very dynamic, and it's going to be a point where now even Lamar Jackson, as great as he is, because Miami did give up some points to the Ravens, and Lamar had that long run. He had 2 deep touchdown passes, and it still wasn't enough because Miami did the little things to win the game. Now Buffalo is going to take another heroic effort by Tua and the Dolphins to overcome what's becoming a juggernaut in Buffalo right now. Now Buffalo, everybody got them as a Super Bowl pick. So, I picked them to go against Tampa. So I just see Tampa's coming out. I see Tampa come out of the NFC. Period. Going to the Super Bowl. In Tom Brady's last year. That's my pick for that. But at Buffalo having these explosive games, game in and game out, they're gonna have to. I want to see them in a game that they have to fight to win. They have to come from behind to fight to win. And I think this game with Miami is going to probably provide that for them, where they're going to have to scrap because Miami always play tough. I don't care if they play in New England or Buffalo, whoever. Miami plays tough with everybody. Whether they come out victorious on the other end or not, that's a whole different story. But I feel that the way way Miami is right now, I believe they're going to pose a significant problem for Buffalo. And I said that about, because Chase is a Kansas City fan. I said that about San Diego, with their defense and Justin Herbert. Keenan Allen didn't play the first game, but still, I think San Diego is that team that can still pose a threat. Now, they have to get over the hump, of beating Kansas City, not just once in the regular season. They're going to have to sweep in the regular season and move on to the playoffs where Kansas City has to be a wild card. And then if you face them again, you got to beat them 3 times. That's hard to do. So San Diego just had to figure that out over there. But just like Miami, if Miami really want to make a statement, today is the day to make that statement against Buffalo.
Hands down. Hands down.
So we're going to tackle another game, another high-profile game today, Green Bay and Tampa, which, Tom Brady has owned Aaron Rodgers for the most part. I don't see this.
Rodgers, I get sick of hearing Aaron Rodgers. It's just God, just
Yeah,
Rodgers.
yeah, yeah. So I think they got the Bucks as a 1.5 favorite. I think it'd be more than that. I think and Green Bay is coming to Tampa. So what's now is Julio Jones, I think Russell Gage, they are questionable. Most likely they'll play. The Buccaneers did sign Cole Beasley and they activate him today, so he will get playing time. So that's a slot guy that they really needed, and Cole Beasley is really good in the slot. I didn't want him to leave Buffalo. I think he was a good fit for Buffalo, but now you leaving one organization coming playing with you know Tom Brady over there, and that matchup could provide key into this
Mhm.
game. You know what I'm saying? Because Tom Brady always thrive with a really good slot guy. You got to think Amendola, Julius Edelman, I forgot the other guy, but
Wells Wecker.
yeah, Wells Worker. He had Wells first. You know what I'm saying? Then they developed Element, and then they ended up bringing when Wells left to went to play with Peyton Manning. He had Danny Amendola, which everybody thought, and Danny Amendola was so brittle because he was over there with the Rams at the time. And, he made his name, but I think Cole Beasley is going to provide some good spots for Tom in that short passing game, and that's what they need. They need that guy because right now Godwin is not playing, and until Godwin comes back, that would help them because Mike Evans is suspended for this game, which now you have to rely on Julio and Russell Gage and other guys. You still got Cameron Brate, but we all know that they're gonna pretty much rely on the running game with Fournette and stuff. And once they get that rolling, then you're gonna see Tom Doom start opening up in the passing game a little bit more. Um, I just think Detroit, I mean not Detroit, but Chicago just did a bad job um, playing Green Bay because I mean the way Minnesota did them in the first game, you would think, well, like you know what, hey, um, it's going to be a problem. But I don't see Green Bay winning this game. It might be kind of close. I don't know if it'd be close or not. It depends.
I, I
You
would
know,
I would I would take Bucks over the Green Bay Packers. I can't stand the look of those green jerseys, man. I can't stand to look at those green jerseys, yellow helmets. I get sick and tired of hearing that "Go Pack Go" every week. Man, it's just time to see the Buccaneers end them.
yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I um the next matchup is the Rams and Cardinals. That's a division game. They both 1-1. Rams could easily be 0-2 right now. Kyler Murray could have easily been 0-2 too if the Raiders had took care of it, you know, play some decent defense. So in that matchup, um, who do you like or who do you think will come out with the W in that one?
Uh, no disrespect to Matthew Stafford, but I do got the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals winning this.
Okay. And why you haven't winning? What makes you what's the deciding factor
Those
for
late those late game heroics. Do not count out Kyler Murray. Him and this offense that they have in Arizona will work away. You know what? If there's a will, there's a way,
yeah.
and they're gonna fight till the finish. And that's no disrespect to the Rams. They have a talented team, but with that success of a talented team, they had a good offensive coordinator, which is the
Yeah.
Vikings head coach. So it's a different year. It's a different time. I think the Cardinals are going to just do some damage and win this game 27-17.
That's a pretty good bold prediction right there. I I think for the Cardinals to win, they have to find a way to neutralize Aaron Donald just enough, not a whole lot, just enough to where they could do certain things on offense where because you don't want Kyler Murray to constantly get sacked or and get frustrated because once he starts getting frustrated, he's not gonna play well. And then it could be the game could be dominant from one side all rounds. Um, the way the Cardinals played last week against the Raiders, if they come into this game playing the same way and be somewhat physical and make good decision plays and Kyler Murray run when need to, you know what I'm saying? Because his running ability will put pressure on the Rams defense. And I just think that with Jalen Ramsey back there, he's probably gonna be bound for getting burnt toast and in the game.
And not only that, the first game of the year he got exposed.
Yeah.
So, and this is crazy to say it, but Aaron Donald wasn't even out there that first game.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even out there the second game, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Aaron Donald is the key to that defense. He's the heart and soul of the defense, not Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Ramsey then got burnt and exposed multiple times. Not just one game, but in different games.
And to your point, he got lucky because Mariota threw the interception right to him last week. So that's the only reason why he got that interception and everything like that. But I don't know. For this one, it's a little bit tricky for me. It could go either way. So I'm gonna give it the edge to Kyler. Give him some redemption. Because he didn't look good last year playing against them, and he was getting knocked around pretty bad. So I'll do that. Now we do have an NFC East game on Monday night, which comes to the Cowboys and the Giants. And who do you like in that one?
This is live, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is live.
This is gonna be a very controversial one, a controversial pick. I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I see the Giants winning.
That's funny because I last night, like I said, I was on another live last night, and it was like an NFC East roundtable. And it was Eagle fans, Giants, and Cowboys, and myself, Commanders. I could see it going either way. I could see, for some reason, I could see Dallas sneaking out with his game for some odd reason. Don't know why. And then surprisingly, I could see the Giants winning this game and going 3-0 and be sitting on top of the division. Or I could see Washington winning, Dallas winning, and everybody's even at 2-1, and we all back to square zero again. So this game is kind of like an up and down game for me. And
Cowboys win that game. Cowboys win that game. Stephen A. Smith is going to be somewhere, knocking out cups.
Oh yeah, you know how Stephen A. Smith, because think about it. If Dallas lose this game today, they host us next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be for Dallas, it will be a must-win game. Because guess what? They will literally go 1-3 if they lose today. Monday night, and they lose Sunday, because mind you, that's a short week for them to get ready for Sunday against us. So they could easily lose today and next Sunday to be 1-3 at a crucial start. Now, if they win today and go against us, then hey, if they lose they're definitely gonna lose next Sunday anyway. But then they're still in a good position. So that's from Dallas side, this game is kind of like a must win for them, really, because the pressure really will be on next week for sure.
I would I would say, honestly, I say with those short weeks, you're not going to be ready. Those short weeks are not going to get you ready. Those
No.
short weeks are going to set you back like crazy. And you got to really think it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you mentally, physically, and, put you out of the zone for a
Mhm.
while. So you got to get ready. You got to get ready, and you got to be ready. So prepare up and have better preparation, and you'll see what you got to get. Because without Dak Prescott, that offense is lost. So
Yeah.
that dude is the heartbeat of that team, of that offense.
And maybe they could rely more on the run with Zeke and Tony Pollard a little bit more now, and not have Cooper Rush trying to throw for 300 yards a game. Kind of just manage the game a little bit like he did, just take like he did against Cincinnati. Just take his punches when he needed it to, from here and
Mhm.
there. So now I want to do a recap on Thursday's game again with Pittsburgh and the Browns. Um, we already know the outcome of it, but who did you have winning that game from the start?
Honestly, I thought Steelers were gonna win. I thought the Steelers were gonna win. I thought the Steelers were gonna beat the Browns. Sorry, Cleveland. I apologize for overlooking you. Uh, I thought Steelers were gonna win, but when the Browns won, I thought of Cleveland Rocks by Drew Carey. I really thought of that song when they won. And I'm not gonna take nothing away from the Browns. The Browns showcased that they can win, that they can, prevail, that they can rise, and they can play all four quarters. Steelers, on the other hand, they're having trouble with figuring out who's going to be the quarterback of their future. That's what they're having trouble with.
Yeah,
That team is a staple to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? What is what is Pittsburgh without the Steelers? And
yeah,
when you think of the city Pittsburgh, you think of the Steelers. So that team is a staple for years to come, even more years and years. But the Browns beating them on Amazon Prime, which should have been on live TV, is remarkable. So I got to tip my hat off to the Browns. They played better offensively. Defensively, they went after the quarterback. George Pickens tried to be on Sports Center with that one hand catch,
yeah,
trying to be OBJ's doppelganger.
yeah.
Uh, but more than that, I really think that game was a fun game to watch overall.
Yeah, I actually picked the Browns going into this game. And I said because of their defense and the running game, because of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Jacoby Brissett, for knowing him because he was Tom Brady's backup in New England, and then when he went to Indianapolis, I just think I don't know, Indianapolis is just not a good place for quarterbacks. Period. Um, so I'm just gonna leave that right there. Um,
Hey, Colts fans, that was shots fired. If you didn't know.
don't worry, we be coming to your town shortly in a few. Um, I just think that Jacoby Brissett is a good serviceable quarterback. He's not going to do things to beat himself. He's going to play within the concept of the offensive scheme that is handed to him. He's going to make plays. He can run out the pocket when need to be. Um, Now, is he going to wow you? No, he's not going to wow you, but he's going to get the job done. And I think being in Cleveland with the defense that Cleveland has, the running game what they have, and just make plays here and there is going to be enough for them. Because shockingly, but shockingly, but honestly, Cleveland could win this division. Cleveland could win this division without Deshaun Watson even touching the field yet until
and,
later this season.
and since you brought up Jacoby Brissett, we haven't seen this guy on the field ever play in a long time. He's played on the field, but he hasn't got that chance to showcase what he can do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because he's been on the sidelines just reading playbooks and observing audibles and hot routes and stuff like that. So I like the way that he's played this game. I like it. I give him a 10. I don't sit back and say he won't be a good player at all. I think he wanted to prove to the league that he can still play, that he can still suit up and go out there and play quarterback. Um Is he better than Deshaun Watson? No, but at least he's willing to showcase that he can fill in and, do something very productive with Watson being gone.
Exactly. And because to me, like I said, I give them a really good chance to win this division. If they continue to play the way they play now, each week could get tougher because you're gonna probably have a lot of tough teams that you're gonna have to play, exceptionally well. But I don't see no reason why they can't win this division. Now you got to deal with Baltimore in that division. That's probably that probably will be your toughest thing to do in that division, overcome Baltimore. But if Cleveland was to win this division and Deshaun, have this division pretty much in hand, but time Deshaun Watson comes back, or it comes down to between them and the Ravens, and Deshaun makes his debut, you know, playing against the Ravens or whatever the case may be, that will be so exciting for football. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But the way the Browns going right now, it's really, really exciting. Now, you talked about the Steeler quarterback position. I think Mr. Trubisky probably have 2 more games in him before they decide to put Kenny Pickett in. Me personally, I wouldn't have never got Mr. Trubisky. Unfortunately, the Dwayne Haskins situation went to a different turn of events. But I would have just rolled with Kenny Pickett from the start and just go all the way. But I know Mike Tomlin, he's going to allow his quarterback to develop as much as he can and try to ride with the guy.
Mhm.
And Mike Tomlin, he's not a guy that get pressured by the media or by fans to make his decision. He's very stern on how he deals with his team, and that has made him a great coach. But I think if they lose 5 or 6 games and they don't see no end to make the playoffs or whatever the case may be, I could see Kenny Pickett coming in and just playing out the rest of the season just to develop some kind of chemistry with the team and something to look forward to for next year. Um,
Mhm.
Now, it's a funny story because I wish Ryan was on here because we could have touched on this together. Now, if anybody remember the Jimmy Garoppolo was supposed to have got traded in the offseason. They was talking about him getting traded,
Mhm.
but his trade couldn't go through. They wasn't be able to trade him because he had a shoulder situation,
Mhm.
shoulder surgery. So reports came out saying that if Jimmy G didn't have a shoulder problem, Washington was in prime to trade for him. And I was like, dang, I ain't wanting no Jimmy Garoppolo. I was like, because he's already been getting injured a lot. You know what I'm saying? So why would we get a guy that's still, I mean, Carson Wentz had his nicks and stuff like that, but still, how much we was going to willing to be paying or trading or give up for Jimmy Garoppolo? You know what I'm saying? Now, to the credit now, could Deron Payne could have been in that trade with Jimmy G, and he went to San Francisco, or gave up a first round pick for next year. So we don't know for sure. So,
It's so
but
many questionables in that. In that.
yeah, but I'm glad it didn't happen. So I'm happy with that. Um, I think we got like probably about 6.5 minutes left. So we're gonna make some picks of the game. So I'm gonna start off with each game real quick.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm gonna start with the Texans and the Bears. Who you got in that game?
Texans.
Oh yeah, they haven't won a game yet, but they tied and they got a loss. So um, I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think the Texans still trying to find their identity. They first game of the season they did really really well. They they went for a tie. They could have won that game. So I'm gonna go with Chicago on that one.
Oh, they're in Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh well, still Texans.
That was a good pause on that one. That was a good pause. All right, we're going with two and 0 and 2 teams. The Texans, the Titans and the Raiders.
2-0 teams.
No, 0-2 teams.
Oh,
0-2.
0-2 teams. I wanted to hear you correctly. Titans and whom?
Titans and Raiders.
I'm just gonna go with the Raiders.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Because these two teams should have been winning. So, to hear that they're 0-2, it's like, who?
Yeah.
What? So, yeah.
Somebody said they don't know if Derrick Henry is like actually healthy, healthy. So with my I'm gonna lean towards the Raiders myself. I really don't see
Without Derrick Henry, that backfield ain't nothing.
And Ryan Tannehill is starting to play like how he played in Miami again. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Raiders on that one. Now we got the 2-0 Chiefs against the 0-1-1 Colts.
You heard it right, Colts. The 0-1-1 Colts. Oh man. Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me. That's Chiefs all day.
Yeah, Chiefs.
They're
blowing them out.
I would be surprised if the Colts score points on the Chiefs because they sure couldn't score no points against Jacksonville. So
wouldn't be surprised if they got a 3.
Yeah,
because they would probably take a field goal, and most of it would result into punts. I mean, who on their team that the Colts really have, honestly, that can really compete with Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the Kansas City Chiefs? They literally already shown what they can do without Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Imagine what they would show, with Tyreek Hill or a different type of team. It'd been a different story.
Yeah, that's true. Because now you're really kind of like forcing Patrick Mahomes to be more of an overall quarterback, getting the ball into different guys. Now he still have his security blanket and Travis Kelce. That's his security blanket. Now I think Travis Kelce is more detrimental to Patrick Mahomes than Tyreek Hill was to Patrick Mahomes. If you took Travis Kelce away from Patrick Mahomes and then you kept Tyreek Hill there, then you probably will see some kind of little difficulty because anytime Patrick needed that in the immediate passing game right there in the middle of the field, he always finds Travis Kelce there. Tyreek could catch them passes, but I think defense will be able to play a little bit closer to the line and not have to worry about a big body tight end attacking them and being physical with them.
See, with him being the security blanket of Patrick Mahomes, it makes Patrick Mahomes 10 times better, though. It doesn't make him any better. It makes him better. Travis Kelce can really change up the game for you. You cannot play one-on-one against this guy. You play one-on-one against this guy or give him a mismatch, I mean, there's more points. There's another 6 on the board.
And just think about it, before Gronk started having all the injuries, you had, my favorite tight ends in the game was Gronk, George Kittles and Travis Kelce, because they're a hard matchup for defense. They're just hard, and everything like that. So with that being said, it's Chiefs all day for me. I would be crazy if I was to pick the Colts against the Chiefs or over the Chiefs.
The problem with that is that when you play against a guy of Travis Kelce's size, you got to put him matched up with a linebacker instead of a safety or a DB. You put him out there with a DB or safety, that's end zone all day.
Exactly.
Or a free first down.
Yep. I agree. The next game we talked about it earlier in the segment. Bills and Dolphins.
Phew. I gotta give a big time shout out to the 305. So yeah, I'm having some real thoughts and saying that the Dolphins will win this game.
All right. All right. Well, for me, I give the Bills a slight edge just because of the way they've been playing, but I won't be surprised if the Dolphins won this game. I say close game by 3. I'm not gonna make a score prediction. Bills by 3. The next game we touched on it also, Lions and Vikings.
Well, the Motor City, man. Well, we win in this one anyway. I feel like it's going to be a 40-point game for us. Going 2-1 in the second year of Dan Campbell's head coaching, tenure here. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful feeling for us. 40 plus up.
All right. You say 40 points this game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I'm definitely going for what I have seen from Detroit the first 2 games of the season. And then what I have seen from Minnesota up and down. Now, Minnesota could probably make a game out of this, but until I see it, I don't have no belief in them. So I'm picking Lions in this one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one will be Ravens and Patriots. Woo.
Mac Jones versus Lamar Jackson. That is must-see TV.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Ravens over Patriots. And I say they win by we go with pluses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I say by +5.
All right, +5. I'll take that.
Mm.
I'll go 1 Ravens by 6.
Okay, fair enough.
Ravens by 6. Now this is the funny one right here.
Mm-hmm.
The 0-2 Bengals against the 1-1 Jets.
Yeah. They're in Cincinnati, correct?
They're in New York.
New York. Oh God. Yeah, New York fans is gonna yell at me probably through the camera and go hard at me for this if I don't pick them, but that's a joke. Anyways. Jets, they've been on a roll as of late. They have. I'm gonna give that to them. Joe Flacco's played great. He's did his thing. I'm definitely gonna say Jets, Jets, New York Football Jets beating the Cincinnati Bengals, who have been in a Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
So yeah, I beat them. I would say a +3 Jets.
Well, I honestly, I mean, the Bengals, I like Joe Burrow. I don't see anything. I mean, they offensive line is just banged up, and I think the Jets is playing really good sound football, and Joe Flacco's there, and everything like that. So I could see the Bengals going on 3 this game. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'm gonna go with the Jets by 3.
Good call.
Now we have the Eagles and my Washington Commanders right now. So I'll let you go ahead and get the first stab at that one.
This is going to be marquee. This is going to be a very marquee matchup between the Commanders and Eagles. I got Commanders.
All right. They have Eagles -6. But like I said, it depends on how Washington comes out and play after a loss. So Eagles is riding high right now. They had a close shootout with Detroit the first game. They demolished Minnesota the second game. So I think this game was going to be really I think it's going to be a physical game. I think it's going to be really, really tough on both teams. But I'm not going to pick against my team regardless. So until I see something different from them, where they just can't compete. I just think what our offense, this how explosive our offense can be and how we could put points on the board. Like I said, we was talking about earlier, my defense concerns me much, but if we do change up some things, I think we could win this game. So I'm gonna give them the cover that 6 point spread.
Oh yeah, I think Eagles, with the Eagles having a -6, I think that's just not cool for me to hear. I think it would be cool for me to hear that they would have a +6 because they should be favored in this
Yeah.
game. Not just a game where they're -6 and never favored. They should be favored. But
Well,
however, the
I
Commanders
mean,
are underdogs, so the Commanders
yeah,
got to win this one.
yeah, exactly. And now we have the Saints and the Panthers.
Mm.
Um, Now I just read through my Twitter feed, Alvin Kamara is back. So with that being said, and um, McCaffrey is banged up again, so don't know how that is going to play out so much, and don't know how consistent Baker Mayfield is going to be in this game. He's trying his heart out, but we don't know. So what you think about this one?
Mm. Alvin Kamara coming back, it lays off pressure on Jameis Winston. So I'm gonna go Saints.
Okay.
Saints
Uh,
over Panthers.
Yeah, I don't see anything the Panthers going to be able to do to beat the Saints. I think now with Aaron Kamara back, it kind of takes the ball out of Jameis' hand just a little bit, where he don't have to make them sound decisions, where he throwing these interceptions and stuff like that. And when he start throwing interceptions, his season is not going to pan well for him. So yeah, Saints in this one. On the next matchup is Jacksonville and the Chargers.
I'm gonna go with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. I believe they're 2-0 this season, right?
No, they 1-1 they 1-1. They lost to us the first game, and then they beat the Colts the second game.
Okay, so yeah, with them being 1-1, and they're gonna try to go on a hot streak. Jacksonville definitely gonna win this one.
All right. Now with Justin Herbert being banged up, now I heard that he wants to play. He's going to try to take some painkiller shots. I don't think that's a good idea. I think they need to let Chase Daniels quarterback this team, let Justin Herbert get healed. Because if Justin Herbert plays this game and Jacksonville with Doug Peterson's knowledge of how to coach and send pressure and start hitting him all over, it could
Yeah.
injure him further, and then he could be out longer. So I don't think it's a smart idea, but I do. Now Chase Daniels is a decent quarterback. He came out of that system in Kansas City, so he knows how to play the quarterback position. And they got weapons over there, but I don't know. This is kind of a tricky game for me. I want Chargers to win the game, but then again, I could see Jacksonville pulling this game out for some odd reason. But I'm gonna go with Chargers in this one. I just feel like they shot themselves in the foot last week against Kansas City, and you can't do that against a team that's very, very high caliber with Patrick Mahomes back there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Chargers to win this one. And we talked about this one matchup earlier. We both agreed the Rams and Cardinals. We both said Cardinals in that one. We believe the Cardinals will win this one. Like I said, we was talking about Kyler Murray. I think he's due for a good game, a really good game, and I think the Rams I think they got a little Super Bowl hangover going on with them also. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give the Cardinals the edge on this one.
Yeah, same.
And our next matchup is the Falcons and the Seahawks. Now the Falcons 0-2, even though they should have won last week's game. Seattle coming off that high from beating Denver and Russell Wilson the first game of the season, and then turn around they lost the second game, last week's game. So who you think got this one?
I'm gonna say Falcons. Falcons are gonna need a victory.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Falcons definitely need this game because if you get Geno Smith any more confidence than what he has right now, something's really going on with the backup quarterbacks in the league right about now. So yeah, I think Mariota and the Falcons just have enough explosiveness to beat the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks can match them point for point, you know, and because the Seahawks, I think their game is pretty much based slowing down now. Slow your opponent down a little bit more, make it close and make it kind of like ugly a little bit. And with them not having Jamal Adams, I just don't think they'll be able to keep up with a Falcons team that's pretty much, looking pretty explosive a little bit here and there. So, and coming up next, we talk about the Packers and we talked about Tampa Bay. We both agreed on Tampa Bay earlier. I just don't see. Well, I don't see no way Aaron Rodgers, his receiver, Randall Cobb might not even play this game. I don't see anything that
is this even a Sunday night game? Because they said that this is the first time that 3-time MVPs are playing. This has to be a Sunday night game.
No, this is not a Sunday night game. The Sunday night game is the 49ers and Broncos.
Because I for one think that should have been a Sunday night game.
I agree. That should have been a Sunday night game. I mean, it comes on at 1:00. So, but with Devontae Adams not being there with the Packers, I don't see how the Packers could keep up in points. Even though Tampa Bay has been struggling on offense, I just don't bet against Tom Brady because when you least expect it, he's gonna find a way to put points on the board. You might get on to cook field goals all game long, but when the game really counts on the line, he's going to come up with that one touchdown to propel them for victory. So I don't see the Packers winning this game, and if they do win the game, I'm sure Tom Brady will see him in the playoff and beat him again. So
yeah. I mean, to me, that game we both agreed on it that this game should be a win for the Bucks. Easy. Yeah. That should be an easy no-brainer win. But the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to bet against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So if you're betting against Tom Brady, best of luck to you because that guy is just a champion.
And plus, the Bucks defense is playing much better than they played last year when they start the season off because they was giving up so much points. So this year they not really giving up a lot of points. So
they're not losing any focus.
Yeah, so they really playing. They're stepping up. So that's going to help Tom Brady, give him a short field and let him go to work. So the Sunday night game, 49ers and Broncos. Oh, they got San Fran by San Fran is a 1.5 point favorite in that game. What you think?
Broncos over the 49ers. Jimmy G ain't the same quarterback he once was.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Because I think I could say that about Russell Wilson a little bit, but I understand Russell Wilson in the new system, whatever the case would be. Jimmy G has been with the 49ers since he got traded there from the Patriots. And he knows the system. He's been with Kyle Shanahan for a long time. It's unfortunate that Trey Lance got injured, out for the season. But I think the 49ers, with George Kittle coming back, I think they're gonna beat Denver. I don't really think it's gonna be a 1-point game. I think it's gonna be by 10 points.
I see the same thing, but the Broncos winning.
Yeah.
With 10 points.
So yeah. So I definitely will see that. Definitely watch that game. Stay a little bit close to that. And then finally, game of to on Monday night, the Cowboys and the Giants, and which you said you picked the Giants to win that game. I'm leaning towards Dallas in a close game just because if Washington wins today, Dallas could beat the Giants, and then everybody be 2-1. Now Dallas loses and Giants be on division. They will be the division leaders if but if Philly wins, Giants win, they still be top of the division, and we be behind them two games. So
which is more at stake because the Giants would want that.
exactly. So yeah. So the I'm gonna pick Dallas in a close game. They got the Giants are 1 point favorite. So and it won't be surprising if they won the game, but I don't like rooting for the Cowboys, but I'll pick them as a 1 point favorite in that game.
I picked the Dallas Cowboys too.
All right.
I picked the Cowboys, but you know, but I would rather see the Giants win. So I'm not trying to be topsy turvy. I just think the Giants have this game. But
Yeah.
if it was up to me, I'd choose the Cowboys. But arguably, the Giants really, really need this one.
Yeah.
So
So
Giants.
So with that being said, we cover all the bases. We narrowed it down. We made our picks. We chopped it up from different aspects of the league. Some of the key matchups and how what we think about it.
Mhm.
So this is the part of the segment where we get ready to close out the show. I think we had another splendid show today, even though we was the ones that were carrying it. Shout out to Chase, shout out to Ryan, even though you couldn't get back in. Shout out to Dylan and everybody that couldn't make it today. Shout out to Sports Empire Network for having us on. Um, Chicken Nugget King, tell everybody where they could find you at.
Well, you could find me on Facebook at Joseph Jones, my regular page. I do talk sports on there, and I do like hijink type of jokes on there a little bit. And I bully on the Packers, even though I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. You can find me. You can find me on Twitter at CashJizzle2. You could find me on Instagram, the real official Cash Jizzle, where I, do music and stuff like that. But other than that, sports wise, I'm the Chicken Nugget King 586. I am on YouTube. Subscribe to Chicken Nugget King 586. I will be doing more NFL videos. I promise you that, and I could tell you that and assure you that. And it's a good time to be on Sports Empire Network, man. So much love to all the people out there, the peeps worldwide watching, and to the people in the chat, man. Much love to you.
All right. And also, you can find me, Livewire Sports, on YouTube, Livewire Sports Entertainment. You can always find my group page on Facebook, Livewire Sports Entertainment. Also, you can find me on Twitter, Livewire Sports. Find me on Instagram, Livewire Sports. And also, you can always link up with me on Sports Empire Network. Always in there chatting up with the guys. And there will be some other things coming on the horizon, still working on it. But until then, guys, y'all have a great Sunday. Go Commanders.
Hey, go Lions. Big victory day. Big victory game.